Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk a little bit about a really cool mechanic that I think I like in 8th edition. I kind of call this, I want to title this video, to kill or cripple. That's really what it's about. Because a new mechanic has been added with some high wound models. Basically any of the models that have monsters or vehicles that have 10 or more, or maybe it's more than 10 wounds, actually have 3 different profiles depending on how many wounds they have left. So essentially, the more you damage a vehicle or monster, the less efficient it becomes. I think that's a pretty good mechanic in this game. But it puts a decision point in your perspective. When you used to always try to take out a model because it fires at full effectiveness until it's dead, right? So you had to take it out. That was the only way to stop you from getting shot. Now, vehicles, there's always the oddball chance maybe of getting a weapon destroyed, but you could not rely on that. So, back in the old days, so to speak, you had to kill. That was your goal. For every turn, you focus on the threat, take it out, move on to the next threat, take it out. I'm wondering now, I think there is actually a decision to make. Do you kill or cripple? Now, I had a couple opportunities to really watch this play out. I've played, I think it's 9 different matches already. And it's interesting because this is an 8th edition. I've noticed that sometimes it's more important to cripple a machine or an enemy unit than it is to kill it outright that particular turn. Now, I know in kill point games you have to kill it eventually, right, to get that point. So killing is still important, but you may be able to buy yourself a time. You'll let yourself take 2 turns to kill the unit so that you can shift some of your fire and weaken something else. So let's say you've got 2 different units. One has a high strength, high AP, or high negative AP, and it has high wounds, but if the thought of that potentially hitting you and taking out, doing the D6 damage, las guns are a good example, railguns are a good example. You want to take those out, but I don't know that you need to take them out. Because remember, your second threat might be something, let's say it could be, maybe it's got multiple shots. Maybe it's not quite as high strength, not quite as low AP, but it has many more shots. So what you could do is focus your fire and take out that first threat. Well, let's say it's a railgun, Hammerhead railgun. You can take that out. Let's say it's even if it's not long shot, let's just say it's a regular Hammerhead. You can take it out. You're going to save yourself 1 shot. 1 shot is not going to be coming back at you next turn. But if there's a broadside that has multiple shots, or even better, a storm surge that has 46 plus, I think another profile has D6 shots, and so you've got a lot of shots coming at you, but they're not as high AP. They're not as threatening as that one railgun was. So if you throw all your fire into the Hammerhead to ensure that you kill it, you're only going to be reducing your chances of getting hurt very, very little compared to crippling it. So bring it down to 3 hull points, or maybe it's 4. I don't remember the stats off the top of my head, but do enough damage to whittle it down so it's in its lowest tier. It'll be hitting on 5s now. Railgun's going to hit basically like an orc, not that effective. Okay, even with marker light support, it's going to take a lot of marker lights to bring that up to 4 plus rerolling 1s. I think it takes 5 marker lights. That's a lot of hits, and you should be whittling those pathfinders down by using your smart missiles, or your anti-infantry weapons, your bolters, your pulse rifles, your ludas, not your ludas, I'm sorry, your sluggas and shootas, your big shootas. all the regular shooting weapons, the infantry, anti-infantry weapons. Take those out so they're not as big a threat. Now, once he's crippled, you can use the rest of your fire to focus on the Storm Surge, which has a lot more shots. It's not going to hurt your armor as much because the AP isn't as high. So, but again, now you have more shots that can go against it to potentially cripple it, bring it down to its middle range. So instead of hitting on 4s, it's hitting on 5s. Again, now you've got potentially 15 shots. You instead of hitting you basically well, let's call it 8 times. You're going to be getting hit only 6, 5. You just saved yourself 3 shots compared to just taking, focusing everything on the hammerhead and just removing 1 shot. Okay, so crippling an opponent in a given turn is a very valid decision in this 8th edition because he won't move fast. A lot of vehicles slow to a crawl, 4 inches maybe. They shoot very poorly, and if they are in close combat, not that they're any good at it normally, but they will have fewer attacks. So it's very important to give yourself the opportunity to hold back from the kill. Go for the cripple, and then follow it up the next turn with a kill. That way you can focus your heavy guns on the secondary threat and hopefully cripple it a little bit more. The less you have to suffer in response, the better. And you can do that by eliminating a unit or reducing its ability to hit by lowering its weapon. Its weapon skill or its ballistic skill. Either way. So that's one of the things I kind of learned. I really like the mechanic, and I've found that it works really well to go through a turn and just once you've crippled a vehicle, when I say cripple, I mean bring it down to its 3rd tier, stop, go on to the next target with the remaining shots, do whatever damage you can, hopefully getting it down to its middle tier before going on to the next one. Follow it up the next turn, go ahead and kill it, get out of the way, free yourself up. But it won't take as much shooting to kill it because you've already taken off most of its wounds anyway. So that's just some food for thought in this new 8th edition. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Hope gave you some food for thought, some ideas to think about. Go ahead, comment below, and share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.